Hello ladies and gentlemen, the Deceptiwolf here with something actually recent, and I think it's about time we got right down to it. So right here before us, we have Transformers Prime, Robots in Disguise, Deluxe, Revealers, Cliffjumper. Think they have enough adjectives in there? In one of the rare instances, Cliffjumper is in fact not a repainted Bumblebee, but is his own character model as a rather impressive looking muscle car. As you can see here, although the backlights are not painted like in the first edition, you take what you can get for 12 bucks. Also equally impressive is his weapon, which in vehicle mode makes a very nice cannon. It can also be mounted right here on the top. And it also functions as a club, but this will be used later in robot mode. Speaking of the first edition line, it is exceptionally rare to find in the United States or even Canada, and the prices they go for is rather exorbitant and unimpressive. If you go for the Arms Micron line, you will find that this same mold will run you about 3 times as much, and the only real difference, aside from the sparse paint-ups already, is that they come with stickers, and you have to build your own minicon for it. There is an alternative for a first edition stand-in Terracon Cliffjumper, but it really depends on whether or not you are keen on the idea of both the stickers, the minicon, and the fact that the figure itself is cast in translucent purple plastic. But that's another review. One thing I should point out on my particular figure, and maybe a problem with yours, is that some of the wheels mostly spin. This one, due to its transformation, kind of rubs up against this part of the car and only spins partially. Your individual results may vary, but it's something you might want to keep an eye on if you like all 4 of your wheels of your vehicle mode of your robot to roll. Anyhow, let's move on to the transformation, shall we? First, we will remove the weapon up on top here and set it aside. It'll come into use a little later. Then we will take the sides of the car and split them open, like this. This is actually a much easier way than the official instructions anyway. Here we go, do the same on that, and flying car mode? Not really, huh? Let's moving on. Okay, we will then do the same to the rear of the car, though not nearly as much. Move the trunk up. Then we will do the same with the hood of the car and move it up on the windshield. We will then move the hood of the car up on the windshield as well. Now that's just silly. Okay. Move these legs here, turn the car around, move the legs down, twist the feet after pulling them down, twist down the sides of the car, and there are the feet. Next we will move these parts down to make the shoulders, automorphing to reveal the head. Then we will move this hand out, put the windshield in, and then fold that in, twist, and you have one arm. Repeat on the other side. And there we have Cliffjumper in robot mode. Nice, yes? There's something funny I want to show you, and it's with the head here. So let's get a nice close-up of it. There we go. That is one aggressive-looking Autobot, isn't it? It's almost like he's angry at the entire world. Of course, if you knew the story of him and how long he lasted in the series so far, you'd probably be a little angry yourself. Now, as I mentioned, they did cheat on the chest in order to get this same effect, but due to the fact that he has an actual waist joint, I'm willing to accept that, since the first edition did not have that feature. A little stranger design option is that instead of just 4 wheels, 1, 2, 3, 4, and if we look up on his shins, 5 and 6. Little odd, but so is the fact that his articulation is somewhat hampered by its own transformation, because he has this swivel joint here and his elbow is actually over here. Although it is double jointed, it does give him some rather unique gorilla arms. Cliffjumper's head, although it has these soft point horns, actually makes turning his head much easier, which is good considering that the stem of his head is on clear plastic. Right there. See it? That could become a potential problem in a couple of years, if not 10, completely destroying the head entirely. Although it does give him some rather decent light piping if you can get the light right in there just right, where you can actually see the molded in pupils. Another odd little thing. Get up, back out here. The bottom half of his legs seem to resemble more of a satyr. Can't quite figure that out since the first edition had much smaller feet, but I can't really complain too much about it, especially since I don't have that figure. Getting back to Cliffjumper's weapon, as mentioned before, he can hold it as a cannon like so. And a rather impressive looking cannon it is, but if we can move it to right there, he has himself a rather heavy-duty club. I don't know why they didn't use the engineering to make him have the triple cannons he had in the show, but the design itself, from what I've seen, is actually slightly more show accurate than the aforementioned first edition one. So at least we have that. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that about does it for this review. And I still feel a little confused by this figure. I'm not entirely certain what it is, but something seems a little off here. I mean, when you got the horns, the angry face, the red all over the body, and the hooves. Red, horns, aggression, hooves. Give me a second. Just give me a second to get something. Okay, so let's see here. Remove that. Put that right there. And then we give him that. Okay. Yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, I am the Deceptiwolf, and if you'll excuse me, I need to go find a priest.